Welcome to the Pitch Podcast, where we interview real entrepreneurs, hear real stories, and learn about how people built their companies from the ground up. What is up, guys? Welcome to the first official episode of the Pitch Podcast. It's been a long time coming, and we got a special guest today. And it's been, years in the making. I mean, after many times, trying to schedule a live.
It's avoiding.
But, Mary Laci is a busy woman. She runs a business. She does build house. I mean, she's cooking up ideas all the time. She does so many things, So I'm super excited to get into this podcast. Shout out to The Grounds. We are sponsored by The Grounds.
Sponsored by The Grounds.
For providing this coffee. So if you need coffee in your Chapel Hill, you know where to go.
462 West Franklin Street.
Also, shout out to The Pitch. I mean, the greatest building in Chapel Hill, the greatest space. I mean, there's so much going on here. Entrepreneurship, community, studio. If you want to book this place out, you can. But enough with the promo and ads. Let's get into it. Please introduce yourself to people.
Well, Speedy, thank you for having me here. I'm very honored to be the first guest on this podcast series that I think is going to be really, really special. And thank you for finally making it happen. I gave Speedy a run for his money on trying to get this
Took a while. But we're here.
Literally like years.
She showed up.
But I'm really pumped to be here. My name is Mary Laci. I founded Eats to Seats. It's a really cool company based actually right here. Now we moved our headquarters into the Pitch. I was, sophomore in college here at UNC when I was working at a concession stand and realized there was a huge need for really great people to service this unique, crazy Wild West of concessions. 8 years later, lots of learnings. I'm sitting here talking to Speedy and excited to get into it.
Let's go. So this podcast, it's really about just diving into the nitty gritty. Like a lot of people see the success of a company, they see the outside. We really want to get into like how it was built, Mm-hmm. And the ups and downs, the challenges, what you learned. And for context, we really want to also like be at all levels of entrepreneurship. Like there's some people just starting. There's some people who made it. They sold multiple companies. Some people, maybe they sold a company. Maybe they're right in the middle of it. They're doing their thing. So we're going to have all types of different entrepreneurs. But Mary Laci is somebody, she's literally in it right now. I mean, Forbes 30 under 30, literally started a company as a sophomore, and like it is scaled to the point where you're actually employing thousands of people, giving them opportunities to work. So tell me, what was it like, sophomore year? Like, what was the first year of starting Eats to Seats like?
Ooh. So it was 2018 fall was when I first got introduced to the world of concessions. I think this happens far too often in service work and especially food and beverage. Like you forget that there's a human being behind, all the things happening, ordering that burger. And I was probably one of those many people that went to sports games, football games, excited to watch the game, not really looking at, the behind the scenes action. But there's a whole wild world behind when you pull the curtain back. And I was fundraising actually with a nonprofit group. Turns out most stadiums, how they staff their locations for food and beverage is getting a nonprofit group to come and fundraise by working in the concession stand. And so I was with, it was a local nonprofit here in Chapel Hill. Walked in, and it was just like chaos. Everything was broken. Or maybe it was probably not broken. We just didn't know how to work any of the machines. None of the boxes were labeled. We had this angry supervisor. All these fans were waiting in line for an hour.
So that's why the lines are so long.
Yeah. Well,
I see. Not with these seats.
Not with these seats. But I think that was that moment. I mean, had no idea it was going to be turned into a business. I just was obsessed with the problem and the chaos. And having worked fast food and nerding out over fast food, I thought I loved the industry and operations. I just kept asking questions and pretty much gave up every game day after that one football game. That was 2018, so we didn't actually form as an LLC until later that spring. And so probably had 20 games under my belt before I understood, hey, this is actually a problem that we can solve if we connect students like myself with this industry, but really focus on that Chick-fil-A standard. So training people, making sure they have fun, and kind of going under the assumption if you bring good people and they care, you could actually drive a different level of revenue and obviously service. So I wouldn't say we had it all figured out at that moment. In fact, we named the company Eats to Seats because I thought we were going to do food delivery. So that first year was a whole lot of question marks and pivoting. So 2019 formed as Eats to Seats. The whole idea was, we're not going to run the concession stand. We're going to bring food to your seat because that's like such a sexy idea. Like, why miss the game? At the Dean Dome, you like see the winning shot and it's like, oh, you don't want to go wait in line.
That's true.
We're going to come bring you food to your seat. Eats to Seats.
Is there still a chance for that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Maybe we can get some drones going or something, dropping the food.
All day long. Yeah, no, there's endless innovation. Endless innovation.
Right.
We just jumped to the sexy idea before we realized the actual problem, which was people. So we tried to do the whole food delivery thing and realized very quickly you cannot deliver a burger unless someone's making it, and there's actually a bigger problem of the execution of the service, and we got to start there. So, after some failures, pivoted into actually running the stand, and started in one hot dog stand at Keenan Memorial Stadium, and did a great job. Just grew from there.
That's awesome. I like how, it started with one. It wasn't like, and I feel like it's easy to, I want to scale, I want to be at all these venues, but it's like, no, you like really made sure that one stand was like ran well and like, intentional in that. And it was never like, we're going to like create a bajillion-dollar company. It was like, how do we just improve from the last game to this game? And how do we make sure people are having fun doing it? That was all we obsessed over. That's awesome. And I feel like, too, the passion, like you're actually passionate about the problem. And I think people struggle to like take their passion and like turn it to profit, And sometimes even the profit is just like seeing the problem solved. So like, how do you navigate that? And what was it like to like, wow, I'm passionate about this thing, and like, wow, this is actually like can profit now.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that like? What was that moment you realized it can go to like profit?
Yeah. I think one of the many things you learn like when starting a company and like growing it is like what you're really terrible at. And I think early on I knew, I could force myself through an accounting class and like the financial classes, but like wasn't always the numbers person, like loved the people side of everything. And so I honestly never even made a financial model for like the first few years of the company, which like I can admit now. So the whole concept of like, what's our like profit margin, even though I was in the business school and I learned all those things, it was kind of, it was focusing on like, if we do a good job and we treat people right, the money will follow. I know there's a quote, I know our Scott Bushka says it all the time, our new CEO. He's from Nike, and he's like, if you do the right thing, money follows damn near every time. Yeah, money's automatic damn near every time. And so I would say like, there wasn't a whole lot of juggling, like, what will this profit be? Mostly, though, I would say we're in a different situation because we're a services business. So I didn't need capital to start. Right. We just needed to be able to pass payroll. And that was very lucky in, like, a de-risked space, and why I'm really excited to hopefully see a lot more stories of students starting services businesses, because you can do it without a big check. And so, yeah, I think balancing the profit and figuring out how it was for purpose. Like, I mean, at first I thought this was going to be a nonprofit. Like, I was fundraising with a nonprofit. I didn't know that this was a business. And so figuring out how this was socially driven was really important. And that evolved over the years. And I think now we really stand on the fact that we exist to give people opportunities. And how can we bring people together, which is really, really important. People are lonely, they need community, and scale that. So I think it's that question of navigating profit and purpose actually got way more challenging, not at the beginning, but later at scale.
At scale. And we'll definitely jump into that, because I think, it's easy to do 3 venues, but I mean, now 50 plus venues. But I know you're super humble, but just for the people, for some inspiration, sophomore year, y'all made X amount, but then there was this big jump. Can you just, inspire the people with some numbers as a person who's in college, you know?
Yeah. Okay, sophomore year, I guess, junior year was the official year, like, with LLC. We formed, generating money. We did, like, 60 grand in revenue that fall. And I was like,
as a junior.
But I was like, whoa. Like,
and that's like in 4 months.
That was from August to November, so football season.
It's a lot of Chipotle.
It's a lot of Chipotle.
That's a lot of Chipotle
but
for
also,
a lot of people.
Going back to the whole profit thing, revenue is not profit.
That's
And
true.
when you're bootstrapping, your revenue's not real. Your costs are. And so I think that was also a good moment of like, it generated 60 grand, but we didn't make 60 grand. But we were profitable and we had some cash in the bank, which was exciting. And a confidence boost of like, okay, this might be something we could get into. And so that was 2019. After that season, I was like, you know what, we can do anything. I'm like I passed my classes somehow. We figured out you can't run payroll off Venmo. Like we had a lot of learnings there. And I was like, no, that was the hardest. That's the hardest wave we'll get through. And then 4 months later, COVID hits, and it's 2020. And stadiums, that industry of all of them were completely shuttered.
What were you thinking when it was COVID and everything shut down? Were you like, East of Seats is done for? I'm gonna just focus on school? Like, what were you thinking? I'm gonna do something else.
I think it was like a daily like whiplash of like I'm like, I'm young and I should do it, and like, why not? And then it would be like, wait, literally no one can leave their house, and what am I talking about? So I actually started recruiting for consulting and going down the job path, like what you're supposed to do, I guess, when you
at 9 to 5.
Yeah, when you go to a really great college. So I was definitely in both sides of the pendulum often, but I actually used that time, which built this confidence, to take a bunch of classes that allowed me to use Eats Seats as like the subject. And through those courses, refine the business model, did the things I was supposed to be doing, like a financial model, and all those questions. And I think through that time, really, really understood, like, you know what, Deloitte will be there in 5 years. This opportunity might not be. And so 60K, 2019, COVID gap, and actually it was probably really good timing for us because we were very early stage, so it's not like we had to lay off people.
Right.
It was just me. And 2021, I guess, was that relaunch fall, and we did $1 million between August and November.
I need a sound effect, like a little brr, 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 brr. So
more like dun dun dun, because it was like $1 million with no infrastructure and like no idea what you're doing. Again, revenue's super not real but your costs are.
So was it you added a bunch of venues basically?
You know what? It was actually, we did add a lot of it. So went into the summer reaching out to these schools, being like, hey, are you still employed? Because a lot of people were furloughed, fired.
Oh, I see.
Laid off. And so most of these stadiums were building from scratch. And you had to be like empathetic to that, but also it was pretty good timing for us because they needed teams.
Right. And people don't want to be in groups really like that. It's kind of hard to see.
Yeah. The wild thing was like we also had to build a team. It's not like we were coming in offering this like thing. So UNC called, then Duke, then State, and then we accomplished that first weekend for football season, and then we just started getting word of mouth calls.
Oh wow.
Virginia Tech, University of South Carolina.
Wow.
University of Georgia.
So UNC's like, yo, yeah, we got called up Eats of Seats, and then
it was like, hey man, I heard you can bring like 200 people, and we're like, yeah, and they're like, crap. I think that was the first like real pressure test of like, can you make it happen when you're totally up against this massive ask, and also saying no can be as strategic, if not more strategic, as saying yes.
Would you say earlier on, yes, 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 yes?
Yes, yes, Tennessee, yes. Yeah, like all day long. And probably should have been asking, like, will this maintain our goal of making people have fun, you know, and deliver an excellent product?
I feel like most entrepreneurs lean towards yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, because you're like, you know, why not?
Why not? I can figure it out. Right. Well, yeah.
Like, what's the worst that can happen?
Right.
But that's, again, industry specific.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, like, you know, we're selling beer and hot dogs. And it's like, that's a really cool superpower of ours. Like, you do have this, you know, fun space to work in and easier environment to learn in, but you don't want to have to repeat those learnings more than once.
No, it's fire. So, wow, 60,000 to $1 million. That's crazy. That's crazy, guys. Inspiration.
It was crazy.
Now, you know, I know that takes a team, you know. So tell me about the process of like building a team. You know, how do you find the right team members? Like, what does that look like, you know?
Yeah, that's the most important thing you'll do in the early, I mean, I guess at any stage, but in my experience, the most crucial thing is intentionally hiring the right team and putting the right players in place. As a 19-year-old, I had no idea what I was doing. And my like test was like, would I get a beer with you? Which is a good, honestly, that is a good, maybe 1 of 10 things you should be looking for. But that was like the one and done. And it was a lot of proximity hires. Like, okay, cool, awesome, you're working? You're gonna come be my like XYZ C-suite position? And you're like, maybe
we're in the same class. Let's do it.
Like, cool. Like, you seem like you're a guy. Yeah. So I think I think step 1 is like you gotta identify like what you're not great at, and make sure you're hiring, you know, with people who have those strengths. And then I think it's a value. It's all about your values. And I think that's really tough when we had to do kind of a two-stage hiring, because like at first, the first few years, it was like I was just solely focused on how are people feeling on site, like how was the event. You know? We were looking at our leadership on site, and it was all event specific team members, and that's a totally different approach and game, like to figure out with personalities and motivation than a full-time hire. And that was my biggest, I would say, many failures, but like one of the biggest failures I had was not really understanding the level of intentionality needed for your first full-time hires, which sounds like common sense now, but easy to mess up when there's demand and you're just drinking from a fire hose. So the team now, I would say, so proud of like through some iterations of like having to figure out, like, I had a great mentor who always said culture eats strategy for breakfast. And if our culture started to crack on the full-time team, it just trickles down all the way
to the whole,
onto the service, like on site. And so we had to do a big reset, and that was the most difficult thing I've ever had to do. But with that reset came a lot of resilience and learnings and an amazing team of, once you hire who you know you shouldn't hire, like that shouldn't be on the team, it's actually it's much easier to hire who you should. Because you're looking for those strengths. And now we have a team, an amazing team. Great marketing director. And, you know, people that you want to listen. Like, you want to feel like, you don't want to feel like the smartest person in the room ever. And like, it's really special when you get around a table of people that are extremely different, that are all contributing and pushing towards the same goal, but bringing something uniquely different to the table. And that's, I could say confidently, that's our team now. And it's so inspiring, so cool. And like, so like the coolest thing about our job is to see people's opportunities go from being
that's true
staff member on site to a stand lead to an account lead to then full-time. That's what has kept me going through all those mistakes.
Yeah, I feel like at East Seats, like so many people literally start from like, I worked my first event and then go all the way up to, there's just that growth there.
Yeah.
I mean, Lily, Brian, Rome, like, shoot, I was just doing the social media. Now it's like, so I feel like that's so cool. And like, I think that takes intentionality to like cultivate too. It's like,
I think it's intentionality and like, some would say reckless trust, but I say it's like when you give people responsibility, you're going to learn so much about them. And like when you trust them really in a short amount of time, which is pretty common at Eats the Seats because of the industry we're in, you're gonna find those superstars. And I think I think that trajectory is like makes a lot of sense at Eats the Seats because we're like, cool, you're gonna go, I know you're 19, but you're gonna go run a 100-person event and you got this.
Right.
And
if you can do it, then
the people that step up, they step up.
That's true.
And I think, it's the coolest thing about what we do and what we get to do.
How would you say now with a big team, you have to develop as a leader? What are some leadership lessons you've learned, in your entrepreneurial journey?
I'm still learning. I think one of the biggest ones that I recognized to take the company to the next level, which was like, hey, I got us from ground zero to here. If we're really trying to be in every state over the next 2-3 years, that's a different set of leadership skills. And so I think understanding the evolution of like what leadership and like, I would say just work skills you need in different stages of the company and how they have to shift. I think if you don't pause and realize like maybe you're not equipped to do that in that moment, or like, again, strength assessment always, be ready to call out your failures. Like that was a big shift for me. And it took me like pretty much almost burning out to be like, okay, we're not doing something right if I have to be everywhere all at once. And that means there's not systems in place that can scale. I heard this quote. It was like, great. I'm going to forget it, but it's like great leaders don't like lead the room. They build the room.
Ooh. Hold on. Say that one more time.
Probably butchered and I don't know who said it.
No, that was good. That was good.
So I don't know. But
say that so we can clip it.
Imagine like a boardroom with a bunch of leaders in it.
Say that so you can clip it.
We'll cut that. Great leaders don't run the room. They like build the room. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense. I don't know.
That's
good.
But it's essentially saying like, hey, like,
that's good.
I want to be sitting in the room just like letting this team roll with it, and like,
wow. If
you don't have to call me, that means I've done something correctly. I'm still trying to figure that out, but I think that's how the greatest leaders have done it.
That might be the best piece of wisdom I've heard in the past 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm honored to be full of wisdom.
No. But no, I think that it's so true because I'm like, I want to do everything myself. Like that's my default, I would say. Yeah. But like, clearly you can't do that, to build something great. Like you even see that with like the interns. Like it's like the more, kind of like you said, if you give them more responsibility, it's like when you're going to, they'll step up. And
they'll fail.
Or they'll fail. But it's like, if they fail, it's like, okay, this is how you do it, and it's like, but if you never give them, the responsibility, I'm like, look.
Then you're going to be doing it.
Yeah, right. And I think a good leader, it's like, you equip people and train them well. They can go.
Yeah. Which I think starts with really leveling expectations from the start and like setting a clear boundary and line of like what the relationship will look like. I think early days of Eats Seats, it was like, and like I would say we're definitely more of like a fun, younger company, but professionalism and like those dynamics especially when you're young and trying to lead someone maybe that's similar age to you or like connect with someone who's much older than you, there is some like baseline professionalism, tactics that you should really probably practice that I definitely did not in the early days. And still learning to do. But it helps avoid the downstream effect of being frustrated with someone or having a toxic culture because expectations weren't level from the start.
I feel that. All right, we got one more business question. Then we're going to do a couple very Laci questions.
Oh, okay.
One more business question. I feel like a lot of people, they see kind of like oh, the success, or like, you're literally the most famous person in the UNC business school.
That is not true.
You've been in Forbes 30 under 30.
And not in jail, which is more impressive.
Not in jail.
The joke, like all the Forbes 30 under 30 people are like in prison.
That does be happening.
Yeah.
That do be happening.
I hear you.
Yeah. She's not in jail. That's
Above board.
type B. Come on. Eats to seats is very ethical.
It's my biggest
take care of people. Type B. But like, what are some of the stories? Like, literally, I mean, I know like going places to fly or for 3 hours, like all these different like, like they don't see the grind. Tell them about the grind. Just like paint a picture of like the most hectic day of the life of Mary Laci.
Oh man, there's a lot. But I'll just go to the early days of like I had no money, money. And it was the 2021 right before the football season started, and we needed I think 400 total team members for that first weekend across different accounts. And I looked at like the Google sheet because we had no tools or technology, and there were like 3 people signed up. 2 weeks out. And I was like, oh my. And we'd been doing the similar tactics that we used in 2019 with like reach out, but it was a whole new landscape. People were like not like trying to walk around. Yeah. Like you really had to figure that out. And I think I remember it was 2 weeks out, like very few people signed up, needed 400, and I was just like, I'm a fraud. Like I'm like, I swear this worked in 2019. Like I swear we had people there, we had a thing. And it was just one of those like up against the wall things. You're like, you just gotta figure it out. And I was driving and I heard this ad on the radio, which I'm like, I don't even listen to the radio, but for some reason I was listening to the radio that day, like crying while I'm driving, like having a breakdown in the car. And it was like talking about bartending at some like festival. Like someone was telling a story and I was like, huh. And so I went and there's a free printer at this like place on campus. And I like completely abused that printer. Printed out like 3,000 flyers. And I went to every single bathroom, male, female, who, whatever, on the NC State Duke UNC's campus. And I put up thousands of flyers in every single bathroom across 3 college campuses for the next like 48 hours. Did not sleep. Was trespassing. And we staffed that whole weekend in 5 days. And I think that was a huge click of like, you just like, was that miserable work? Yeah, I was like totally like there's some dude peeing in the urinal beside me and I'm like, hey, here come work. But I think it's just like money doesn't solve all the problems. And I think that's like something I hope with Build House and some of these services companies we're mentoring to show that like most of it is like getting way more creative on how to solve an issue. You're not doing anything groundbreaking. Like people have showed up to work concessions for decades.
True. Since they were sport.
But you're doing it better, more creative, faster than anyone else. And that should be hopefully energizing to people to realize that you don't need the next Facebook idea. Like those innovations and like those moats and those like really creative things you're gonna implement in your company will come. It'll only come if you're willing to put in the work and like get creative and like absolutely grind. So that was the one. That was like I was ready to call the venues like that day and be like, "Hey, I'm sorry. Like, cancel the contract. I don't know what we're doing. I'm like just a girl." and then we
figured it out
in the bathrooms.
That was cool. I think. I don't know. I feel like you hear a lot of companies like there's this point where it's like, oh, we might not make it. But there's like the people who like just stay in it.
Yeah.
They just show up. They're like, okay, we're going to try.
I think entrepreneurship is like, it's not like about confidence. It's about like continuing when you have no confidence. And just like keep going. It's just an endurance game. That's a little oversimplified, but it really is like, most normal sane people would have been like, I should let them know this is bad, and I was like, yeah, crazy.
They say the best athletes are delusional.
Yeah, you gotta be a little
delusional. Yeah, it's gonna happen. Like that. It's good. Well, speaking of that, talk about the grind. How entrepreneurship, it is a lot of work. You gotta really take some risks, and like sometimes just be on the ground for 48 hours, flying in bathroom stalls.
Yeah.
But let's talk about work-life balance real quick. You know, outside of entrepreneurship business, who is Mary Laci? What do you do outside of work?
Yeah, I'm working on that. But I grew up in Asheville, North Carolina. Beautiful, like, mountains. I love hiking. It's my favorite thing. I think getting in nature it's like very grounding to me because it gives you perspective. I think everybody needs to feel small, not in like a toxic way, but like you need to realize, like, you know, your problems, like not having enough people for XYZ event, like that mountain has seen like 50 million of you or come there, and like that's for some reason really grounding to me. So I love hiking. I grew up playing bluegrass fiddle with my sister. So I do love that. I need to get back into it.
I love jam session.
Yeah, I love people. I think love my friends, love my family. I love like getting people together. I think honestly, 2 years ago, I mentioned that moment of burnout. I went home for Thanksgiving and my dad looked at me and was like, you know, you become really one-dimensional. I was like, oh. But I needed to hear that. Like, I went from all these hobbies and like curiosity about things happening around the world to like, how many people are on site? How many more people do we need?
Yeah.
You know, like just like constant on and work. And I don't think balance, there's like no right formula for like one size fits all.
Yeah.
In fact, I think you should not probably like expect balance when you're first starting a company. You need to take care of yourself, but you're gonna have to make a lot of sacrifices. Like I was working in a concession stand every weekend in my early 20s, not being in my early 20s in New York City. And so I think you gotta come to peace with that, but figure out how you're still you and you're not just wrapped up into what you built. And so this is me saying that because I'm actually trying to get there. But I'm 2026, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna visit my friend, visit my sister, travel.
You took a vacation.
Took a vacation.
That was crazy.
Yo, that's a big moment for the company. I was like, okay, I left and nothing burnt down. Like, this is good. We're on the right.
It didn't really send text either.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think I saw one. I remember we went on vacation one time. I was like, are you sure?
No vacation? No, I definitely wasn't.
Yeah.
No, this was the first time I was like, all right, we're locked in on not locking in. So I would say I'm not the beacon of work-life balance. I also think to start a company, balance should not be the number one thing you're looking for in your life. That said, burnout will kill your company, and you have to figure out how to maintain that sense of identity, sense of self, and health, because you're going to want a company that strives for that when you have multiple team members.
That's good. Good stuff. 3 questions. I really want to milk this time because who knows? Whatever. Getting here again. I mean, I don't know. It might be 2-3 more years. So how about, in 3 years, 5 years, where do you, because that might be the next time we do this podcast, guys. Where do you see it?
I'm walking out. I'm here. It's my new invention.
That's true. Maybe what if you become a podcaster? That'd be funny.
You gotta cook. I feel like I need to.
You're good. I'm breaking the fourth wall, bro. Isn't she like cooking right now?
I'm like, you have to say that.
Let's say hardcore.
If you said no right now, I'd just be like, all right.
I feel like she dropped some good quotes.
No,
okay.
Great quotes.
That crazy thing that you said, that was beautiful. What was it?
Which one? There's multiple.
Yeah, no.
You're like, oh yeah, that really memorable quote.
I was like, yeah, we gotta put that.
You're like, it was so good.
You don't build the room. You don't lead the room. You
build it.
You build the room with the people. Yeah.
I feel like that's definitely.
It builds better when
you can say it.
It builds better when
I feel like I could say it better, but you guys get the gist.
Oh yeah. Oh, say it again now.
Oh, yeah, no. Now I'm like, I don't even know what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. But okay, so where do you see Eats to Seats and yourself in 5 years? Like, what's that vision looking like?
Yeah, I've never been good at this activity.
Okay.
Like actually very bad at
First
this
time for
activity.
everything. First time.
Yeah, I love that it's being recorded. I also think one thing about entrepreneurship in the early days, like starting like the 0 to 1, you really do have to think like, oh, I'm not promised tomorrow. Like, again, like, why not? Like, kind of delusional energy. I tend to also live like that in my personal life, and I'm trying to, again, with the evolution of Eat Seeds, which is like, we're at a stage now where like, you really do have to plan for that strategic, 5 years down the line, because now you have a full-time team you got to take care of, and just different challenges. So I would say personally, I want to see a lot more stories like ours come out of North Carolina. Whatever the school is, whatever like stage you are, you don't need to be a UNC student, but like I believe business ownership is not as far off and out of reach as people might think it is. And that's because entrepreneurship as a term has, I think, gotten a bad rap of like, you're either like sleeping on your parents' couch like with no money, or you are part of this very elite VC circle where you're raising $30 million. And to the average human, you're like, what? I'm just trying to like pay my rent.
Right.
And I think my goal is to see a lot more our story, which like it took me 8 years to really see the fruits of that labor. I think we can create a system, an ecosystem where services businesses, they need talent. And a state like North Carolina has a whole lot of talent that are hungry, they're hustlers. They don't need to think of themselves as an entrepreneur, but like they build things, whether it's building community, building energy, building a social media following, building a really cool AI tool, like you build. You don't need an idea because ideas are trash, like without execution. And so I think that is a gap in education and like the higher ed space with entrepreneurship that needs to be filled. And I would love to really dedicate my time to seeing a lot more hungry, awesome, talented individuals. You do not need money. Like there's more money than good ideas. We need talented, grounded, high value individuals that are ready to work really, really hard. And I think as a result, we'll create job opportunities. Mike Griffin, he's an amazing UNC alumni, big mentor of mine, and also now business partner, which is pretty cool. I remember he spoke at a class when I was in school, and he said it's the $10 to $30 million companies that are generational companies that are the heartbeats of local economies. And in a world where we can sit here and talk about all the things wrong with it, the way you can make an impact is giving people job opportunities. Creating job creation is so powerful and needed. And it's not, it's the Chapel Hill Tire Shop. It's the Purple Bulls. It's Top of the Hill. Those are entrepreneurs. And most people don't think of that space as as an entrepreneur. You think of Mark Zuckerberg, and I want to rebrand that. And I want to find and give really high talented, hungry individuals a path to wealth creation.
That's fire. So if that's you, join Build House today.
Hey!
That was good. Well, wow. That was amazing. I mean, this was great. I'm glad we got in here. Last question. If you had to give a pitch, to like, who is Mary Laci? Yeah, I know, we're getting different. Who is, I feel like I'm going to ask everybody this last question. You had to pitch yourself, like, who are you, as an individual, as a person? What would you say? What would you leave the people with?
I'm someone who does not know much, but I know that every person has a really interesting story, and I know that there's so much to learn from that, and want to live my life by figuring out how to create those rooms, create those conversations where, a lot of learning can happen. And personally, like that's my favorite thing about what we do at HCs is we get to bring thousands of people with very different stories and backgrounds together. And I learn more from them than any textbook, any classroom, any TED Talk I've ever been to. And I guess if you want to know anything about me, I love people. And I think every single person has a really unique, value and power to them. Oftentimes, they just need to be reminded of that. And I'm actually trying to figure out how to do that through working concession stands, and hopefully can continue to do that in my life.
Wow. That was beautiful. Eats a seat.
It's a seat.
We bring people together.
Bring excellent people together?
There we go.
We bring people together to bring people together to bring people together.
Type B. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Speedy.
Here.
Yeah. Wait.
Whoa, cut that out.
Oh, yeah. Whoa. You remember?
Yeah, I thought it was.
No, it's done.
Oh,
done,
that's
done.
right. Oh, I messed it up. Dang, I
that's
messed it
crazy.
up. That was bad.
He made it too.
I made it. Yeah, that's crazy. But wow, this is amazing.
Just like cut all of this. It's done. Track.
No, it's all going in. No cuts. No cuts. Guys, this was the Pitch Podcast. I mean, what an honor to have Mary Laci for the first official episode. And we're going to keep doing this. This isn't just a one-off. We're going to be having many other guests, people who are just starting their journey, people who are like in the middle of the journey, and people who have done it. So I'm glad we got to have Mary Laci on for the first one. And
thank you, Speedy. And I'm like, shameless plug, if you identify as a builder, you're the kid that sold out of the chocolate boxes in the school fundraiser, you're a vibe coding AI genius, you know how to bring a run club together, we want to work with you, and we want to see you stop running your future and start owning it by building something that's yours. And I hope we can work together, and I hope you guys can start following along at Build House, at the Pitch, and get involved in this pretty cool community where builders come together like Speedy.
If you want to make a podcast, you're not renting this place out. What you doing? I mean, what you doing? And it's 50% off for your student, so you might as well just come on down to the Pitch.
I think, Speedy, you got a freestyle to wrap this up.
Okay, right. Yeah.
All about why Build House, why the Pitch, why the Stew. Why, if you're a student, if you're a local community member and you want to build something up, if you have a revenue generating company and you think you need help taking it to the next level, come here.
Hold on.
Alright?
We got a commercial. We're not sponsored by this app. We are sponsored by The Grounds.
The Grounds. Sponsor The Grounds. The Pitch.
Hey, what? Hey, look. Feel like I'm Curry, man, I cannot miss. I'm recording a podcast, when I pull up to the Pitch. Hold on, what? Wait. I gotta catch it.
Alright, he's catching it.
Yeah. I said, feel like I'm Curry, I don't miss. If I got a package, I come to the Pitch. We got the studio, we making music, bro, we do it all. I gotta get it. Build House is building up, we standing tall. We got the grounds, Build House. It's the greatest studio in the town in Chapel Hill. We about to make a little meal. We about to go for the kill. We in the field. We are the man in the arena. I gotta get it. The grass getting greener, got cash. It's not about all the money and fame. We changing the game. We entrepreneurs. Made it out the mud. I'm talking manure. Now we going up. Hey, yo, we at the Pitch. Hey, we going up. Hey, come book out this. Hey, we going up. What? Hey, we at the Pitch. If you wanna make a podcast and make music, please come and book the Pitch, cause we going up. Yeah.
That was so good.
Hey.
That was the infomercial.
That was good, yeah.
That was good.
That's definitely gonna be on.
Jingle.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna be like, and Laci, and I was like,
and now Laci's gonna rap. Yeah. He eats the seats. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, you gotta do my filling words.
Okay.
Just give me the eats the seats.
I see what you're saying. She got a company and it's called
Eats the Seats.
And you she got a I'll change the flow.
Okay.
She got a company, know that it's great, and it's called
Eats to Seats.
We on the track and we making music, so it's
Eats to Beats.
they trying to sleep on us, but they can't, cause it's
Eats to Streets.
Eats to sheets.
Eats to fucking.
But that's okay. It's like in soccer, reaching our goals.
Eats to. Wait.
Wait, this is good. Okay, put it there. Hold on. What? Hey, hold up. She got a company, know that it's great. It's called
Eats to seats.
We on the track and we making music. It's
Eats to beats.
they trying to sleep on us, but they cannot. It's
Eats to sheets.
we reaching our goals like soccer, cause it's
Eats to creeps.
hey, we going up, we go to the moon.
Eats
to the
to moon.
moon. Hey, we going up, east to moon.